The thick soles of his desert boots screamed on the linoleum decking. The rasping of his breath filled the still air. He reached the door of the first mate's cabin and thundered on it with his fist. Then, scared by all the noise he was making, he knocked once more, quietly. There was a distant groan as Nikolai came awake, a wash of light over Kanwar's boots from under the door. Unable to wait any longer, the young Indian turned the handle and all but fell in. Nikolai was on the point of opening the door, and so they found themselves standing chest to chest, a short, dusky boy and a tall, bullish Greek with wise blue eyes and salt and pepper hair.
"It's Gallagher," wheezed Kanwar. "He says we're all dead men."
"No," said Nikolai calmly. "We'll get off all right in the lifeboats when the time comes. I've told you, stick by me."
"It's not that," cried Kanwar in an agony of apprehension. "It's something else, something no one else knows about. He said he'd only tell me if I slept with him. It's something bad, Nikolai, something he was paid to do in secret."
Gallagher gazed at the pair of them with his disconcerting eyes.
"Of course," he slurred. "Now, would I be telling this lovely boy lies?" He fell back, sprawling into the captain's chair on the bridge.
He was a tall Irishman, red-headed and covered with freckles. His face and arms were terribly marked with scars. So fair were his brows and lashes that his pale eyes looked naked. His once lean body was running to fat. Only when he was totally drunk did his hands stop shaking. He never seemed to sleep in his berth and prowled the ship at night, often settling, as now, in the captain's chair up here. Nikolai knew nothing of Gallagher, the ship's electrician, and wanted to know nothing. But he knew the truth when he heard it, and he could just see this strange, sadistic man using whatever he knew to try to seduce the boy. "Where?" he demanded. Gallagher leered up at him. A shadow moved the depths of those naked eyes. What was it? Fear. The man was terrified.
"They expected me to keep it down in me berth," said the Irishman. "Sleep with it under me bunk till it was time. Not me. Never again. Not for any amount of money. I'd been blown up, you know, under me bunk. I should fucking think so."
"Where did you put it, Gallagher?" Nikolai's voice was quiet now, appealing. He suspected all too clearly what it might be. Gallagher grinned like a death's head.
"I'd have gone mad with keeping it so close."
He gripped Nikolai suddenly with bruising force.
"You do see that? I'd have come to pieces with it under my bunk."
"Of course you would, Gallagher. I can see that, but where did you put it?" Gallagher started giggling helplessly.
"You'd never guess," he said.
His eyes rolled up in his head. Nikolai glanced over his shoulder then. "Wait outside," he ordered Kanwar. And from the tone of the first mate's voice, Kanwar was glad to go. It took 10 minutes. Kanwar stood well clear of the door, so he never found out what kind of duress the mate used. But after 10 long minutes, they came out together, Nikolai's arm firmly round Gallagher, supporting him as though they were friends. "Quick!" snapped the first mate, with uncharacteristic rudeness. "Take his other side." Kanwar obeyed at once, and so, 3 abreast, they proceeded. They crushed into the tiny lift and hissed down into the bowels of the great tanker. Kanwar's fear of being discovered by the captain was at once replaced by the fear of discovery by the equally terrifying chief engineer, the tall, taciturn American, C.J. Martyr. Indeed, rounding a bend in the corridor suddenly, they bumped into 2 figures so unexpectedly that Kanwar cried out aloud. But it was only 2 of the Palestinian general-purpose seamen coming off engine room watch. Kanwar knew them, Ibrahim and Majid. "You 2, ordered Nikolai at once. "Come with us." Obediently, unquestioningly, they fell in behind. Kanwar paid them no more attention, all other thoughts wiped from his mind by the sudden